Good evening, this is Tony Miyachi, and this is the WWE Raw review for January 18th, 2016, and I've dubbed this the WWE Raw Go Home Show. And this Sunday, the Royal Rumble will be live on pay-per-view, but I guess the WWE thinks that it's going to be only on the WWE Network, and you know what? I don't care if they want to try to promote their stupid network and scare away their cable providers. And let's face it, they're only down to one network now. Now that SmackDown's moved from Sci-Fi to the USA Network, they only have that network to work with. And let's face it, the USA Network isn't what it used to be back in the day. well, let's just start this review on what's been happening. Well, one, John Cena won't be in the Royal Rumble because he'll be out on injury because of shoulder surgery. And I guess that's a good news, bad news thing. That's the good news, but the bad news is they'll make Roman Reigns really strong throughout the entire year now. Because let's face it, everybody knows he's Cena 2.0, and they've been building him that way since he won the WWE World Heavyweight title. That is awful. This Royal Rumble's gonna blow. They don't got enough superstars because half the roster's injured, and I'm gonna do another separate little video on what's my opinion on the first inductee to the WWE Hall of Fame. But right now, let's just talk about what's happened on tonight's Raw. Well, to start off, this is in Columbus, Ohio, and in the beginning of the show, this tired old Martin Luther King Jr. video tribute, which is just bull crap. Because let's face it, they don't give a damn about the black wrestlers. They never gave them the title shots they deserve. Mark Henry deserves to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion, but he got buried by John Cena. They turned the New Day into some stereotypical racist black group. It's just awful. I mean, I like the Nation Domination. That's the only closest thing to a real black group we're ever gonna have. This New Day is just awful. They're just shucking, jiving. I don't know what the twerking, and then I will tell you what happened during their match later on. That just made me sick. And well, we kick things off with Roman Reigns coming to the ring, and then he starts calling out Brock Lesnar because he heard that on the Chris Jericho highlight reel that he's gonna interview Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, which is just him talking to Paul Heyman. Let's face it. And then Chris Jericho comes out, his music plays because he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble, and let's face it, the WWE is the only place that he can wrestle. Because let's face it, after what he's been doing for these past few years, ever since he came back, he has just been goggling Cena's balls, and that's just killed his wrestling career and any other wrestling organization. Then he talks about he knows he's looking for Brock Lesnar, and he said he's gonna have him on his show. And then why not make this Chris Jericho highlight reel the biggest highlight reel of all time, and have him with Brock Lesnar? He agrees, but then League of Nations music plays, and then they talk about how they're gonna win the Royal Rumble, because Chris Jericho mentioned how he want to have the top 3 wrestlers who can win the Royal Rumble, him, Lesnar, and Reigns. And then Jesus Christ, it was like a stupid back and forth of just childish antics and name calling. This is awful. I don't want to get through all that. And this is just silly. It wasn't like trash talking like, I'm gonna kick your ass, yeah, I'll kick your ass. It's silly bullshit, and I don't. This is awful. And I noticed that Doritos had the United States title, and he lost it to Kalisto last week. But then at SmackDown, which I did watch, he went up against Kalisto for the title again, and let's face it, we all know what happened. And Wade Barrett distracted Kalisto, and Dario took advantage and put the cross on Breaker to win back the title. See, that's what I'm talking about. The United States title is garbage. And then throughout this little argument, then Rusev started saying this thing, and then Chris Jericho and Roman Reigns started talking about how they couldn't understand them. Yeah, let's face it, I don't want to understand those two. And then they went on this little talk about how who won the Royal Rumble last year. Then Ray said him. Who did he defeat? Who did he eliminated at the end of the Royal Rumble? And that was Rusev. And then arguing started happening, and then a match was made. Then Chris Jericho said that he was going to make a match between Reigns and Rusev, and to make sure that no antics happened, he was going to be the special guest referee. Throughout this whole match, there's a little back and forth, and Chris Jericho was at this silly again, and the members of the League of Nations started interfering in the matches, distracting Reigns and all the. And then, I don't know, I get to the point where Chris Jericho started to kick each member of the League of Nations out. It was silly and pointless. And then we eliminated Wade Barrett last. Rusev looked like he was about to attack Chris Jericho, and then Reigns did the spear, and then Reigns did a Superman punch to Rusev, and then got the win, and that was your first match, Monday Night Raw. It's just unclean wins. I'm so sick and tired of the unclean wins in the WWE. But if they want to continue this and kill off their company, let's just do this. It's just awful. It's awful. Then they show backstage that Chris Jericho walked there with this. Every man confronted how she didn't authorize the match, and then she told her to watch her back. And then she talked about how she didn't authorize the little change to the highlight reel, Heavy Reigns, but then she agreed, and then she said, "Don't do it again." God damn, Stephanie, this is awful. Then next, a Divas match between Brie Bella and Natalya. So Brie Bella came out there with Alicia Fox, and Natalya came out there with Paige. I don't know, something happened on SmackDown. I don't know. I haven't watched it. I'm going to try to watch SmackDown this week, because it's going to be the SmackDown Go Home show. Basically, this entire match was just something to promote the new season of Total Divas, which is going to be on Tuesday at 9, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch TNA because I don't want to watch crappy scripted crap. On that stupid Diva show, they talk about how Alicia Fox, this is going to be a killer. Because they talk about how Alicia Fox unfriend her on all social media. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Have we gone to this? Have we gone to the fact that this is dumb? How about the fact that this is supposed to be a reality show, but then they just scripted reality, just like their matches? Okay, so throughout the match, Brie Bella did her ode to Daniel Bryan with the kicks to the chest. I don't know, there's... And then she hit the one knee for the 2 count. And then Brie tried to do an elbow to the neck. And then Paige was just trying to cheer up Natalya. And then Brie was about to do the kick, but Natalya caught the kick, and then performed a sharpshooter to win the match. This match. See, this is why I don't like Total Divas. Because now they just orient their matches around the episodes, and I think that's stupid. I mean, it's real stupid. That you're going to use a show to create storylines. I thought the point of the Divas division was to win the Divas title. But there's no progress in trying to capture the Divas title. And this leads up to regurgitated matches in which the same title match is going to be performed over and over again. I just don't get it. And then they announced that in another 6-man tag, it's going to be Ryback and the Dudley Boys versus the Wyatt family. And I don't know, because the Dudley Boys won their tables match against the Wyatt, so now they'll go up against them one more time. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Why did it bring back the Dudley Boys? I mean, let's face it, I know what this is going to lead up to. Them becoming the tag team champions at the WrestleMania. I think this is what's going to lead up to. And then after that, they'll just leave and they'll go back to TNA. And then, for some odd thing, it was announced that they're going to do some kind of stupid crap where they're going to pick out who's going to be in the number 1 spot in the Royal Rumble. And this spits into the essence of the Royal Rumble. Because it was just like, because the Royal Rumble is like a lottery. Wrestlers put their hands in a little cage, pick out that number, and that'll be it. I mean, they had such great promos back in the day when they did something like that. You know, wrestlers go in and get their numbers, and one of them gets pissed off when they pick number 1. And there was like, my favorite, this was when Eddie Guerrero picked out his number. He didn't like it. You can see it. And then Evolution came, and then they picked out their numbers, and then Eddie Guerrero did this thing where he switched his with Ric Flair's. Ric Flair caught him, and then he won his number back, and then he looks in and he sees that his wallet was stolen, and And he's trying to get his bat ready to grow. Oh, God. But now, they're gonna... And, oh, God, yeah. I knew when they did this no one spot thing, I knew where it's gonna lead up to. And then this lead up to the White family versus Ryback and the Dudley Boys, and I don't have the energy to talk about this match. I'm sick and tired of these 6-man tags. And now these 6-man tags are constant. Because every Raw or every SmackDown, there's going to be a 6-man tag. I think it's stupid. I thought they were going to promote the tag team division. But no. No one wants the tag team titles. Because the WWE tag team titles are garbage. Really garbage. I just didn't like this. Oh my goodness. I can tell you that the Wyatt family won this match. It's just me, a lot of these matches, these 6-man tags, just fillers because they don't know how to create anything. Because there's not that many wrestlers left in the WWE. And I'm hoping that a lot of them jump ship, go to other wrestling organizations. It's just awful. And at the end... And then there was a spot where they talk about the whole highlight reel thing where they updated it. So now it's Reigns and Lesnar being interviewed by Chris Jericho. Then the next match is The Big Show versus Heath Slater. And Heath Slater brought his new group out. Called themselves the Social Outcast. Yeah, with him, Chris Axel, Bo Dallas, and Adam Rose, and this is awful. Yeah, so Big Show got down to the ring, and then the Social Outcasts came out, and each of them said what they were to do in the Royal Rumble, but then when it went down to Bo Dallas, he started to took the mic and said they're just going to wrestle and start the match. So during this match, Heath Slater did his best to try to avoid the Big Show, but then when he got cornered of the Big Show, he started to toss him all across the ring. And then Heath Slater went out of the ring and tried to talk to his little Social Outcast. And then they were just surround the ring, try to distract the Big Show. And then Big Show used the knockout punch to take out Heath Slater, and he got the win. But then Chris Axel tried to attack the Big Show, but he got knocked out. Adam Rose was on the top rope. He was trying to do some high fly attack, but then Big Show knocked him out. And then Bo Dallas started attacking the Big Show, and then Big Show was about to attack him, and then he got out of the ring, and then he did his little victory lap around the ring, but then Big Show caught him with a knockout punch. So the Big Show knocked out the whole entire Social Outcast group, and I have a little problem with how the Big Show's been treated throughout the year, because for some strange reason the fans are just wanting him to retire or get out of the WWE, and I still don't get it. But I can tell you that the Big Show is not going to win the Royal Rumble, and I don't understand why the Big Show is not being promoted right. Because let's face it, he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, but after that, what happened? Nothing. He doesn't get a title shot. He doesn't get anything, and it's just awful. And Then they went back to backstage where the League of Nations were pissed off what happened with Chris Jericho and Stephanie McMahon caught after them, and then she just tried to push on to try to attack Jericho later on. And they said this is them to pump him up to try to attack Chris Jericho, probably at the highlight reel. And then after that, when it was after the commercial break, oh Jesus Christ, Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon came out there with a little, that little bingo cage thing to pick up that number, and that's stupid. This is stupid. I don't know why he's back. I don't know why the authority's here. It just ruins everything in the WWE. And then he made some sly joke about Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. It's like one of you winning a Powerball. Jesus Christ. See this? Then he brought out how he won the Royal Rumble in 1999, and I just don't get it. Let's face it, Ric Flair had a better showing in 1993 or 1992, but you guys can correct me about that. Then he won the Royal Rumble at number 3 and earned the longest time in the Royal Rumble and won the WWF title. And then they did the whole drum roll, and they just did the shaking, and then Vince McMahon had trouble trying to open up those little toy containers. When you go in the store, you see like one of those little toy vending machines. You just pop in a quarter or two, and you got them, and you just pop it out of the little capsule things, and he was having some trouble doing that, so Stephanie McMahon got it and opened it. And how they do this is not numbers, it's just names, and the name that came out of the ball was Roman Reigns. And I think we all know what's going to happen. They talk about how they said let's do it again to make sure that there's no tampering. And then he did it again. He took one of the balls, and then he had trouble with it again, so Stephanie McMahon had to help with it. And then it was Roman Reigns. Then he said, let's do it one more time. Then he did a whole shaking. He said, don't put those names back in there. Let's do it one more time. And then Stephanie McMahon shook them up. Vince McMahon actually opened this one up, and it was Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns is going to be in the number 1 slot of the Royal Rumble. Let's face it. I'm pretty sure that everybody knew this was going to happen. They're going to try to make it a John Cena 2.0. And the only way to do that is to put him in the most one-sided match of all time, put his title up for grabs in the Royal Rumble, and put him in the number 1 position. And I could take this on 2 things. One, Reigns will win the WWE World title again, and I'm thinking that they're going to try to erase Rey Mysterio's record, the longest time in the Royal Rumble, because that will happen since he's number 1. They're going to try to drag it out up until the point where his time is greater than Rey Mysterio's, because let's face it, he already broke Kane's record, and he's going to win the title and break Rey Mysterio's record. And I think that's bull crap. It's dumb, this whole thing. And then I went backstage and it showed like Ric Flair with his daughter Charlotte. They were at ringside because the next match was Tamina Snuka versus Becky Lynch. And on SmackDown, where last week on SmackDown, Becky Lynch was cheated out of the title because of Ric Flair. And then Becky Lynch made a challenge to Charlotte for the Divas title at the Royal Rumble. So, I don't know. And so, Team Bad came out first with Tamina Snuka and Naomi. And Sasha Banks was out because of injury. And they came out there with a new theme music. That's nice. And Tamina got a new hairdo and everything. And I still think Tamina should have had the Divas title years ago. But, that's okay. Then Becky Lynch came out in some sort of bird costume or something. I don't know what it was. But when the cameras pointed at Charlotte, she was laughing, guess. I don't know. This match was somewhat good. I mean, Tamina was dominant throughout the match. Becky Lynch had some good moves, and at the end, Becky Lynch did this move where she's about to do a roll-up, but it led into the disarmor, and she won a match by submission. And then after the match, Becky Lynch called out Charlotte that she wanted her to accept the challenge. But then Ric Flair saying that Becky Lynch already had her shot, and he told her to go back to the end of the line. Then Becky Lynch made some comments that Ric Flair was a little coward in his old age, like his daughter. And then Flair started arguing back at her. And then, for some reason, he said that Charlotte accepts the challenge. So, and then you see like Charlotte was a little pissed that her father made the decision to put the Divas title on the line. I still understand why they're doing this with Charlotte. I mean, in the NXT Women's Championship between her and Natalya on the vacant title, it had her father, Ric Flair, and Natalya's uncle, Bret Hart, there, but it was a clean match. No interference whatsoever. But now that she's on the main roster, they made her to a wimp. They just ruined her career. And this whole thing with father at the side interfering for her just killed her career. And once again, we're going to have Becky Lynch versus Charlotte, and I'm guessing Becky Lynch is going to win the title. And then when it came to then next was a match between Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio versus Kalisto and Dean Ambrose. And then when it came back to commercials on that, Kevin Owens was there at ringside, and throughout this match this tag team match, it was just him arguing to Cole and then calling Byron Saxton useless. This match was just somewhat enjoyable. I mean, they both had. This match was alright. But you know what? What really killed this was the commentators. I mean, it was just them arguing amongst each other, not talking about the match. I still like that, but. And then at one point, Kalisto did the Seal de Son Sheamus and was about to win the match, but the Rio fought. The Rio broke the count, and then it was like a back forward between them. And then at one point near the end, where the Rio and Dean Ambrose were outside the ring, Kevin Owens got up and tried to distract Dean Ambrose, and then Alberto Rio attacked him from behind, and then it was just Sheamus and Kalisto, and Kalisto was about to do the Salito del Sol one more time. And then he used the ropes to bounce off, but he didn't get it all the way, so he landed on his feet, and then Sheamus did the bro kick and won the match. So this tag team match was useless, but another full match that didn't make no sense. Nobody got higher on the ranks for titles, and I'm guessing that Kalisto is gonna fight Del Rio for the title one more time. I don't know. And then after the match, this is awful. I don't know, this whole Kevin Owens versus Dean Ambrose thing. I mean, they have so many matches against each other for the Intercontinental title. Is this... When are they going to do something different for the title? It's awful. And then... Then they had some sort of little replay of what happened between the New Day and the Usos and Chris Jericho, because it was a 6-man tag. And then when one of the Usos got distracted by Xavier Woods, even Xavier Woods came back down to the floor. Chris Jericho had the trombone, and this played it loud to Xavier Woods, and then he broke it in half, and he was just crying like a little bitch. And then at the backstage, the New Day was having a funeral for their trombone, Francesca. This is awful. And then, you know, this whole... the trombone made Xavier was tolerable, but this is just stupid and silly. And then they talk about they're going to have revenge against them, and then this led to a match between Jey Uso and Big E, and this match is just, I don't know, it was alright, I guess. But it was just filled with distractions from Kofi kicking Jey Uso in the head of the referee not to looking. And at one point where it went to commercials, and then when it came back, something very disturbing happened after they came back from the commercials, because it had Big E putting the abdominal stretch on Jey Uso, but if you look closely, Big E was doing the little gyrations behind Jey Uso, so it looked like he was raping Jey Uso in the ring, and I just, oh god, this is awful. I don't know why they let him do this. I mean, what was the point? I mean, this whole entire New Day crap with it, this twerking and thrusting, and oh god, this is awful. It's a god awful match. It's that's all. And then at the end of the match, where Jey Uso kicked Big E down to the ground, and Jey Uso about to deliver the Samoan splash, Xavier was distracted Jey Uso, but then when Jey Uso jumped off the top rope and Big E avoided him, but then Jey Uso landed on his feet, but it looked like he had a bad landing and his ankle was hurting, and then Big E got him up and did the big ending, and he won the match. It's just, oh goodness. Yes, and so this whole New Day and the Usos is awful. I don't know who's gonna win out of that match. I don't really care who's the tag team champions after that. Just the whole tag team division is awful. This is god awful. It's awful. And this whole entire show. And then what? And then later on, there was a match between another 6-man tag. Well, actually, this is a 8-man tag with Mark Henry, Neville, R-Truth, and Titus O'Neil versus The Ascension, Tyler Breeze, and Stardust. Yes, Yanni indicated that this match was boring, and the crowd showed it, because throughout the entire match, the crowd was dead. And let me show you how dead the crowd was. Because, when, the tag teams where a guy gets beaten down by the opposite team, and then at one point where the face does a move that knocks the heel down and him down, usually there's like a build-up of cheers for that. But there was no cheers. It was just quiet. And then when the face tag team gets the tag, you would think there would be an explosion of cheers, but there wasn't. The crowd was dead throughout that match. And the match ended when Neville did the red arrow for the win. And it's awful. See, now this is the point where the crowd does not like these stupid 6-man, 8-man tags, because they've seen them far too many times, and they're not going to invest their time enjoying them. I don't get it. I don't know why they do these 6-man tags. They got 3 hours that could fill with singles matches, tag team matches, but they don't. Fill with talking and no wrestling. Unlike TNA, in which you're glued to your seat to the action. This is... And then after that, the final segment was the Chris Jericho highlight reel. And he talked about how he's got 3 Royal Rumble prospects in the ring tonight. Himself, the savior of the WWE, Brock Lesnar, and the WWE World Champion, Roman Reigns. And then Paul Heyman interrupts him. And he talks about how... And then he interrupts Chris Jericho's voice, and then he started saying some things to try to introduce himself. And Chris Jericho did his whole little stick about, will you please shut the hell up? Then he asked, where's Brock Lesnar? And then Paul Heyman mentions, there's a little Weatherman's joke about how an F5 is touching down in Columbus tonight. And throughout the time about how his client is a focus on Chris Jericho. He's focused on the other guest, Roman Reigns. And then Chris Jericho talked to Paul Heyman how he said how Paul Heyman is trying to bypass Lesnar, the Royal Rumble, and go right to the main event at WrestleMania 32 for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship belt. Then Heyman is talking about, and then he also talked about how Paul Heyman doesn't do that because he doesn't like Lesnar's chances in the Royal Rumble. Then Heyman said that, talked about what happened at WrestleMania 31, how he lost the title. He said Brock Lesnar never lost the title. He says he was never pinned, he never submitted. And then the whole thing, talking Beast the Conqueror and all that. And then he said that the Royal Rumble, he's going to turn it to Suplex City. And then Chris Jericho mentions, like, what if he and Lesnar are the last two in the Royal Rumble, and that he eliminated Lesnar and became the new WWE World Champion. And then this signals Brock Lesnar coming out. He's getting closer to the ring, then Reigns' music plays, and he's coming out of the crowd, and he's entering the ring. And then he's just waiting for Lesnar to come in, and then Lesnar slides out of the ropes to try to go after Lesnar, goes after Reigns, but Reigns did the spear on him, and then started attacking him down to the ground, and this led up to the League of Nations attacking Reigns, and then the League of Nations got Roman Reigns in the corner to start mauling him. But then Lesnar got up and he clotheslined up under the reel and Wade Barrett, and took out Rusev, then took out Sheamus, and then when they were all taken out, Reigns did a second spear on Lesnar. But then the lights came out. The lights were turned off, and then it turned back on. This thing was the Wyatts, and they were surrounding Reigns. And then they started attacking Reigns. And then each of the members started beating up on Reigns. And then Bray Wyatt did his Sister Abigail on him. And then they kicked him out of the ring. And then the Wyatts were staring at Lesnar. So the Wyatts started attacking Lesnar. And then Luke Harper did his boot to Lesnar and did the "this is forearm" to him. Then Eric Rowan did his spinning heel kick to him. And then oh God, I forgot his name. And then Braun Strowman took out then hit Lesnar, took him down. And then this is the part I liked, that he had the Wyatts pick up Lesnar off the ground, and then Bray Wyatt did the Sister Abigail on the Brock Lesnar, and then he yells out the Royal Rumble is his. Okay, that was the only part of the show that I liked. That Bray Wyatt took out Brock Lesnar, so I'm guessing this showed that Brock Lesnar may not win the Royal Rumble, that maybe Bray Wyatt might win. I kind of like how they're trying to build up Bray Wyatt, that he wants to become WWE World Champion now. And that's about it with Raw. So we start off with talking, which led to shitty matches. Oh yeah, and one more thing about that little 8-man tag, because there was something at the end where Titus O'Neil had, I think it was Connor or Victor, that he had him, and he was, for some, and I think they were trying to do like a finisher, in which he tagged in Mark Henry, and I think the sequence was that Titus O'Neil had him, and he was going to do this toss him behind him, and Mark Henry would catch him and did the world's strongest slam, and then which led to Neville doing the red arrow for the win. But I think he misfired on this because he threw the heel over Mark Henry, and so Mark Henry had to quickly pick him up and did the world's strongest slam on him. So that was a botch. I mean, this whole thing was a botch. The thing that I didn't like was when they were trying to do the little, when they try, how like for like the pay-per-views where they have like a little match card where they showed the opponents, but the way they had it, the wrestlers were like carved in marble and just awful. I think it was a shitty special effects or anything. I said this is. This whole Royal Rumble. I don't know, like how Lesnar let the Wyatt family just beat the shit out of him. That was the only part of Raw that I liked at the end. But I hate Chris Jericho. I didn't like the damn highlight reel. I don't know why he came back. Let's face it, he can't wrestle in any other organization. He's a silly one-line bullcrap. This Royal Rumble is just awful. They don't got that much talent, and oh god. And I'm starting to think that AJ Styles is gonna make his appearance in the Royal Rumble, and I don't like him being in the WWE. I don't know why he's still there. I mean, he sees what's happening with the WWE. He knows what's gonna happen. Let's face it. He's got 6 to 9 months of freedom in the WWE up until John Cena comes back and kills his career. And that's what's going to lead up to. And that's why James Storm left before that happened. And I'm guessing that Samoa Joe's going to make his exit out of NXT soon. Sooner than later. You know what, when TNA builds up an audience, when TNA gets everything straightened up, because, this month they had their 1-8-0 pay-per-view, which was live. I haven't seen it yet, but I will. But when TNA gets their stuff together, they are going to literally kill the WWE. But until then, let's just hope that it happens. And I give Raw I give it a 4 because of the Lesnar Wyatt thing. I mean, the cars just matches that already happened several times over. There's no excitement about these matches. Oh yeah, all titles get defended, but they're the same damn matches that have been happening for months, and I don't know, they're gonna. There's too many of these little groups. You got Team Bad, Social Outcast, White, everything. There's no individuality. And now that John Cena is out, Reigns is going to be their go-to guy now. And on SmackDown, he's going against the League of Nations in a 4-1 handicap match. So, and he already fought them again. He already fought them and won. Oh, God. This I don't know what they're going to do about the Royal Rumble. Maybe they'll try to get some straightened out. at the SmackDown show, but it's just, the Royal Rumble used to be a favorite pay-per-view for me because there was so many surprises during the Royal Rumble, but the pathway that the WWE chose just kills it for everyone. I mean, their greatest matches, like Survivor Series, Elimination Chamber, Hell in a Cell matches, is just ruined because the WWE will not be a wrestling show. They'll be a entertaining show. Let's face it, I'd rather watch TNA now with this. I just don't get why they're doing this, but this Raw was just there to establish all the matches that they're going to have there, and then they accomplished that at least. At least they did some build-up to these matches at the Royal Rumble, but let's face it, these build-ups are going to fizz out at the pay-per-view. I don't know, this is awful, and you know what, there's a lot more entertaining shows to watch on Monday nights now. I mean, MasterChef had their Celebrity Showdown. That's going to kill Raw there. Let's face it. And when I was watching TV, it looks like a lot of the popular shows are trying to move to Monday nights now. And I think this will be a signal that they can see that Raw is losing ratings, and they're going to try to scoop those viewers up. Because in the past, Monday nights were ruled by WCW and the WWE. And now that the WWE is only wrestling show on Mondays, and the fact that they're losing viewers every week, this will give a lot of popular shows more fan base now. And I hope they do that, and I hope that they killed the WWE. And let's face it, you would think that this is going to signal that they're going to try to improve, but let's face it, these improvements only going to last one day, and that's it. And I really hope that the Royal Rumble is decent. I hope it's decent. And the one thing I'm going to hope to see at the Royal Rumble is how Kofi Kingston's going to survive being eliminated. That's the only thing that people will watch the Royal Rumble for. Kofi Kingston escaping elimination. I just hope that... Well, I'm going to end it right there. And I want to see you guys' comments on this review, see what can improve, and what's your opinion about the Raw tonight, and what you're going to predict will happen at the Royal Rumble. And I'm going to try to put this up tomorrow on the internet, and I guess I'm going to try to do a SmackDown review, but I'm going to watch TNA. I'm going to try to do a TNA Impact review later on, but let's see what happens, and I guess I'll see you guys later on, and hope you guys like this. Hit the like button if you do. Make comments, because this channel is just so that everyone can have an opinion, express it, and I might do and later on I'm going to try to do some my opinions on certain shows that I like and I don't like. But till then, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, and let's hope that some wrestling organization will finally put the nail in the WWE permanently.